Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Mike and Susie. How's everyone doing on this beautiful Tuesday morning?
It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. The snow that came yesterday is gone today.
It was a little bit of a surprise. I woke up yesterday morning and there was like a light dusting on the ground. But
you never know what you're going to get in spring in central New York. But today is going to be warm, back up in the 60s. So I'm excited about that. But I will tell you, I'm freezing today because I feel like since we've had some warm days, the heat is not on.
Well, you know, that's the problem is last week we were like mid to high 60s. There was a couple days in the low 70s. And so yesterday I left the church and it was like 40 degrees and it felt cold. And I'm like, great.
No, ruins you.
Yeah.
Get one day of nice weather and it's like we forget that we live in New York.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, 40s, I would have been in shorts and a t-shirt.
It's true.
But yesterday it felt cold because of how warm it was last week. So, oh well, what can you do? So.
All about your perspective.
Yeah.
It's a good life lesson right there.
So what did you guys do this past weekend? Did you guys do anything fun, go anywhere, any kind of fun activities that you guys did this past weekend?
Things are opening back up. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
We celebrated your birthday all weekend long, and one of the things that we did, I had a couple surprises for you, and one of them was that we went to Syracuse to the movie theater.
Yes.
Which we have not been to see a movie in a year.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite things to do, probably even more so than yours, but I was picking and there wasn't much to pick from. So we went.
It was good. It was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that we even had a movie theater within our drivable distance, but in Syracuse there's a movie theater that brings you food. Yeah. And we've had those in other places we've lived, and I didn't know we had one here. So it has the reclining seats we've all grown to love, right? But they also bring you your popcorn, and they have hot food, whatever you want, right?
Yeah, my favorite part of it was that they have an app that you download, and you pick what you want, but not only do you pick what you want, but you can pick the time that it comes.
Right.
So if a movie starts at 7 o'clock, you can say, well, I want popcorn at 7:15. I want M&Ms at 7:30. I want, and you could like stagger your candy, movie, food, or you could have a meal at, you could have wings at 7:30, and then have popcorn at, 8 o'clock, depending on how long the movie. So it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We didn't get any actually hot food because we were eating dinner later. But so if you want to go to a movie and gain 18 pounds and feel like a slob when you leave, we have the place for you. But truthfully, we do love it. So if you're looking for something fun to do and you want to go, invite us with you because we're down.
Yes.
Maddie said she went bowling with a friend this weekend.
Oh,
so
cool.
Bowling alleys must be opening back up. I know there's like the pool place is open, like the billiards place is open.
Yeah.
So anybody else have any fun events or activities going on for the weekend?
So this morning, typically what I've been doing is I've been doing intermittent fasting. And let us know down in the chat, have you done any kind of intermittent fasting?
Right. So technically, we all fast every single day.
Well, yes.
Because when you from the time you stop eating at night until you wake up and eat, that's a fast, right? So you probably are already fasting.
Fast.
Yeah, you're probably already fasting 10, 12 hours a
day. Who sleeps for 10 or 12 hours?
Well, I know, but you probably are eating like right before you go to bed and right when you wake up, right? There's usually a gap. And if you think about it, the first meal of the day is breakfast, which is literally break fast. So when you get up in the morning, you have your first, if you eat in the morning, that's your break fast.
Yeah.
That's my little...
So I think it was back in the fall, I started doing intermittent fasting and I didn't eat breakfast.
Your super proud of yourself
Yes,
about this.
I am.
I get it. It's a big accomplishment.
Because I like
to not
it
eat.
because, and I'll get to why I like it so much in a minute. But I was eating lunch around 1 o'clock. It was a late lunch, but it'd be healthy. So I'd have some kind of salad, just something light, just to tide me until dinner. And then dinner, again, I needed to watch what I ate. Still need to eat pretty healthy, and it went really well. But then I started thinking, I think I can go longer. And I decided that, and I started reading on, there's lots of material to read on intermittent fasting. But
I bought a book.
Yes.
And tried to read it for you to tell you what it said, like the Cliff Notes.
And so I came to the conclusion that if I fast, if I fast all the way until dinner, and I only eat between the hours of, somewhere around 4 to 8, 8:30, somewhere there. So I'm only eating for 4 to 4.5 hours, then I can eat what I want.
And not gain weight.
Because
anybody can eat what they want. I can eat all day and eat what I want.
So now, within reason, but I don't have to be super picky on, being very healthy. I can, splurge a little bit more. I can have a dessert here and there, and I will still lose, lose weight. And, but I've really enjoyed it because I am a very much an all or nothing kind of person. And so this really fits. Like, I'd rather not eat lunch if I can't eat what I want. You'd
rather just starve all day and eat whatever you want at dinner time.
Yeah. I can remember I think we were in Texas, and we were doing, the church was doing some kind of a Daniel fast or something like that.
I remember this.
And it was a 21 day Daniel fast, and I'm not going to go into the details of what a Daniel fast is.
Let's tell the people quickly what a Daniel fast is. So you can only eat things that are grown from the ground naturally. Yeah. So beans, vegetables, fruits, you can have olive oil, depending on how strict you're being, but no meat, absolutely no meat, no dairy, no cheese, nothing like that. Yeah. So that's like torture for you.
Yes.
And that's what it's 21 days. It's an extended fast because you're still eating every day, whatever you want of those items.
And so I decided that, you know what? That stuff's not even worth eating. So I said, you know what?
That's not worth eating.
I'm going to do, instead of doing a 21-day Daniel fast, I'm going to fast a full fast for 10 days. And it was...
I remember that very clearly.
It was like one of the hardest things I've done, but I was just like...
You had juice.
Yes, for a fast you have juice. But one of the things that I did was I started drinking coffee, but it was just black. I wasn't drinking it. But after 3 days, I stopped drinking coffee, and that really helped.
Because the coffee was kind of like making you hungry, right?
Yeah.
So you decided it was better to eat nothing for a shorter period of time than to be able to only eat basically fruits, vegetables, beans.
Right. And I'm like that in a lot of areas in my life.
I did the Daniel fast, by the way, for the full 21 days because I would much rather be able to eat every day fruits and vegetables than not at all. I've never done a full fast for that long.
That was the first time that I'd done anything like that for that long, and it was good. I loved it. I enjoyed it. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so we were talking about so I do intermittent fasting, so I only eat for 4 hours, 4.5 hours, but this morning I typically am at work before the kids go to school, but Susie came in and I went home to get our middle child Ivy on the bus. And I got home.
You kind of forced me. It was kind of a forced situation.
Well, anyways.
I was complaining. This is going to be a long morning, guys. I was complaining. Well, not complaining, but a little stressed at how much I had to get done this week. And you said, well, why don't you go in early tomorrow and I will take care of the kids.
Yeah.
So Okay, now you can go
So,
finish your story.
I don't even remember what. Oh, so I went home, and as soon as I walked through the doors, I was like, I'm hungry.
Right.
And so.
And all the stay-at-home moms say, amen, right? We know when we're home all day, you just want to eat all day.
Yeah. So I couldn't do it. So I said, first I was looking for bagels. I love bagels, but there's none left because our kids devour them the second that they walk through the doors. So I found myself some toast. I love toast, butter, jam.
Any carbs, just bring it on.
But I just love I really like toast.
You do?
Yeah, I do. And so, anyways, so I throw the toast in the toaster, and I thought it popped pretty quickly, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't even look toasted. And so I looked at the dial, and it's like almost down completely off. And my kids, for whatever reason, they like their toast warm. Like that's like the dial on, like they want it warm bread. It's barely toasted. And so I'm like, well, this isn't toast. I don't want warm bread. So I had to put it down. I turned the dial and put it down again. Of course, it doesn't come out right. So it was just
horrible.
Yeah. So anyway, so I want to ask you, how do you like your toast? There it is. We have a little chart, if you will, from 1 to 9. And my toast, the first time it popped, was barely a 9. Okay.
I'm confused at why the numbers don't progress from darkest to light or
that
light
was just the first picture I saw.
It's a strange order.
One is burnt. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but 7 should be 2 steps from 9, but it's not. It's like darker than. Anyway, so
are you done analyzing the graph?
You were number 9, and what was your goal, honey? What were you trying to
I
get
like
to?
5. I like it crispy and.
I cannot.
But it's so weird, like looking at it though.
Yeah.
7
looks like perfection.
Looks like it should be 6. 6 and 7 looks like they should be flipped.
7 is God's number. It's the number of perfection.
But doesn't 7 look more than 6?
That's what I just said. And
Oh,
you said now that you're done analyzing the graph. That was my whole point.
Oh.
Number 7
Anyways,
is my vote. What is your vote? Post your number in the comments of the number chart that makes no sense whatsoever. But we'd like to hear what your comments are. Number 7 just looks perfect. It's even, and it looks like a kind of bread I would enjoy too. Like maybe it's a sourdough.
What about you guys? What number is your toast? 7 is darker than 3. I know. I don't know. That's true. I'm really now starting to look at it, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think they got the toast out of order.
Hi, Landon. How's it going?
That's your cousin, right?
I know. I miss you guys. I have family in Indiana that I have not seen in a very long time, and I miss them so much. But yeah, I'm saying number 7. Now, would you like me to explain to you why the toaster was set at a low setting?
To warm? Sure.
Because our kids do not make toast.
No,
they
they
make
don't.
either bagels, which as you previously mentioned, we are out of because I have to limit the bagel, how many bagels are brought into our house because we all like them too much. They've been making waffles.
Oh, okay.
The frozen, Lego My Eggo waffles.
But wouldn't that need to be darker?
They don't like them crispy. They just like them soft,
mushy?
like weirdos. Yeah.
They are. Our kids in food, let me tell you.
Yeah. So do you know how Ivy does her bagel? She doesn't put her bagel in the toaster at all. She puts it in the microwave.
Oh,
and just warms it up so it's really soft
and
mushy.
That is disgusting.
And she will I think she does put cream cheese, but she likes it soft and mushy, and she learned that from one of the Elrod's children. So our kids are not the only kids that are
No, that's just one of a very long list of weird and picky things. Our kids if you got kids, are your kids picky eaters? Am I alone? Because I feel like that our kids don't eat anything that we ever if you cook dinner from Monday to Friday, 4 of the 5 nights, they might like one of the 4 meals that you make.
They're getting better, though. I feel like they're getting
Adeline
better.
is, yes.
As she gets older.
Yeah, as they get older.
She did not like last night's dinner because not you so much, but the girls and I really like soup, homemade soup. And so I've been recreating some of their favorite soups are from Olive Garden. And so I made the potato and sausage one.
Yeah.
And then I've also made the chicken gnocchi soup. And Adeline loves the chicken gnocchi. And you came home and told her we were having
an Olive Garden soup that Mom made, because that's what you told me. That's all you said.
Right.
I said, what's for dinner? You said, oh, I have some of that leftover Olive Garden soup I made and grilled cheese. And so I was the first one home, like about an hour before you. And so as soon as I walked through the door, Addie like popped up. She's like, I'm starving. What's for dinner? And I said, oh, Mom, we're going to heat up some Olive Garden soup.
I had it in the freezer from the last time
that Mom made. And she just was like, yes, she was so excited, and she was just like over the top excited for about an hour, anticipating this Olive Garden soup, only to find out that
it was the other kind, the sausage potato one that she does not like. So she was so disappointed, and we had grilled cheese, and so she ended up heating up a can of soup that she liked. But we're like, how could you not like this soup? It's delicious. So Nicole asked, do we make them eat it anyway? We generally make them at least eat some of it. Yeah. So it does depend on the night, though. Like last night we had soup and Ivy didn't want that at all, but we had leftover chicken. So she had leftover chicken and something else.
If it was up to me, I would make them eat it every time.
We always make them eat at least a couple bites in hopes that they will learn to like it, which I do feel like is helping a little bit. Yeah. And like with veggies or whatever, they have to have a certain amount. But Jared said bagels are the best ever. This is long. A 2-step process. Cool it with broil, then put on the cream cheese. Then put it back. Oh yeah,
it's a lot of work.
I don't like that. I don't think I like the hot cream cheese. So he like broils it and then puts the cream cheese on it and then warms it all up. My favorite bagels were, we always talk about food.
And this is what, you know what? And this is, I thought about this when I walked through the door to the house to help Ivy finish getting ready. Yeah. I thought to myself, you know what? We're going to be talking about food on the morning show. I'm already a little hungry. I'm going to have some toast, so I'm not starving at the end of the morning show. You're making me hungry. Anyways, go ahead. And then we have to move on.
Okay, then we'll move on. So my favorite bagel was from Tim Hortons in Canada because you could ask for whatever you wanted on it. So I would get veggie cream cheese with cheddar cheese, a slice of cheddar cheese, and a tomato. Oh my goodness.
It's like a sandwich almost.
So delicious. It was probably 8,000 calories. Landon said the weather's beautiful in Indiana, honey.
Oh, yeah?
It always warms up faster there.
Yeah, they're a little further south than we are. Yeah. So, well, we're going to move into our morning devotion, and it's found in Romans chapter 5, verse 8. And this is very fitting for this week. It says, but God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. How great is that? That while we were still sinners, that Christ died for us. This is Holy Week, Passion Week, whatever it is that you call it, the week leading up to the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. And it's such a, I love this. And I hate almost calling it a holiday. I mean, I love this time of the year and really celebrating, you know, that death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. And it's just such a great reminder for us that this is what the Christian life is about. It is about Jesus dying while we were still sinners, and he paid that price for us. And so, I think it's good to take this week and, you know, remind yourself, maybe read through the account of Jesus, his, you know, arrest and his trial and his, death, burial, resurrection. Read through that Easter story this week, and it's just such a great story of love for us. And that's really what it is. It's a story about God's love for us, that Jesus loved us so much that when he rode into Jerusalem, we talked about it this past week at church, man, that he knew what he was riding into. No one else knew, but he knew what he was riding into, what he was going to, and he did it anyways for you and for me. So.
And spend some time. I love that you mentioned read through that story on your own. Spend some time in your own time with God, of reflecting instead of just waiting for your Good Friday service or your Easter service to do that. But take some time on your own at home, and it just makes that's so much more meaningful. But also take some time to talk to your kids. If you have kids in your home or maybe grandkids, take some time to talk to them about it too. And, at dinner time is a great time to just take a moment, even if it's while you're praying over your family meal, to just, then have a conversation to thank God for what he did. One of our really only tradition that we do in talking to our kids about Easter is we do resurrection rolls every year, which I actually forgot about until just now. I'm going to have to make sure we have the stuff for them, but you can look it up online what it is, but it's just a crescent roll with butter and cinnamon sugar, and you roll up a big marshmallow in it. And there's a whole story that you talk about Jesus, that he was anointed with oil, which is the butter, that his body was doused in spices, which is the cinnamon sugar, and that he was wrapped up in the tomb, and you kind of rolled, so if Jesus is the marshmallow, you roll him up in the tomb, which is the crescent roll, and you bake it. And then when you take it out of the oven and you open up the crescent roll, the marshmallow has melted, so it's gone, and you just have this empty space, which is an empty tomb. So there's lots of cool ideas. Yeah. If you have little kids, our kids are getting older, and we still love to do that. So find a way that you can talk to your kids. If you have a family tradition with Easter, we'd love to hear about it. So share with us in the comments, what does your family do at Easter time to make it special, to make it meaningful? Of course, the Easter Bunny does come to our house, and we do candy and all of that too. But make it a priority. Make getting in church this weekend a priority. Maybe it's been a while, and it's so easy to get out of that habit, isn't it? Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's so easy. It's just like any other good habit or routine in our life. We stop doing it, and before we know it, it's been weeks or months. Yeah. And so make Easter that time that you're going to get back in church. So it's good.
Awesome. So we're going to move into our favorite things, and this week it is I have a favorite thing, which has not been a favorite thing for a long time, and it's going to be an app I want to show you that if you have an iPhone, you automatically have it on your phone.
Right, comes with your phone.
Right, but we've had iPhones for a long time now, and this app was terrible at first. And so much so that when people used it, I said I wouldn't use it. I've lost documents, I've lost important information on it, that there's no way to recover it.
You would make fun of me for using it.
Well, but that was years ago when it was
like a month ago. You were making fun of me, but now you've seen the light.
Well, now they updated it, and so now it's better. But it was really bad. So it is, and I don't know if you can see it, but it is the Notes app, and so I don't know if you can see it there. It's this is really okay. It's the little, just looks like a little notepad, and if you have an iPhone, then you know that. And it is great because you have everything. You can have folders set up on it, and I don't know if you can read that or not. Probably not.
Have folders.
But you can have folders, and what I recently found out, I didn't even know about this, that you can share those notes. And you've used it for the kids, and we've also started using it for dinner and
that's true.
A grocery list. So you created a grocery list. Hey, this is the list for the next time we get groceries, and then you shared it with not just me but our kids. And then we can add things when we think about it. Yeah, like bagels.
Onto the grocery list.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I've been loving it for. So I make a checklist of the kids' chores for the day. And you only have to share the note with them one time, and then they have it. And there's a little, you can actually put little circles that they can check off. And so I make the checklist, and then as they do their chores, they check it off, and it updates on my note as well. So then I can keep track of what they're doing, even if I'm not there.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Yeah. So like I said, but I don't know when they made this update, but before they made that update, if you delete, I just remember I put something important on it. This was years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, or even longer. And I wrote something on one of the notes, and just something happened. I have like big thumbs and clumsy, and I accidentally highlighted it and then deleted it, and it was gone. Like there's no way to get it back. And all the other apps that I use for notes and things like that, there's like a recovery, and there was a way to restore it, get it back if you deleted it, but there was just no way previously to do that. So I'm like, I'm never putting another note that means anything that's on there again. And but now I don't use it for work. We have other other apps that we use for work, but yeah, I like it. So that's my little favorite thing, the Notes app, if you have an iPhone. So if you have an Android, then I'm sorry, and you've got more problems.
We don't know anything about it.
So we are going to move into our marriage minute. And our marriage minute is, we're going to use a scripture found in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 28. It says, "Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her."
Oh, I like this scripture. Good choice for the marriage minute today. So
looks like we're having a little technical difficulties.
Our video's out, but I think the audio is still working.
So we'll keep going.
We'll just keep on
going. There we go.
And keep talking.
Keep talking. But it says that her children and her call her blessed. And this is a tip for those who are in a relationship, and maybe even more specifically a marriage, that we need to be appreciating and complimenting each other.
Right.
And I think a lot of times that it is lacking in a marriage, that often we only criticize, we only find fault, and we need to be each other's encouragers, cheerleaders. We need to be and make sure that we are, and this is, it says right here, and he praises her. Verse 28, he praises her, that he compliments her. He lets her know, hey, you're doing this well. Man, dinner was great. Thank you so much. I love that, shirt on you. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for...
Your butt looks great in those jeans.
Yes. And there's just so many ways that we need, but we really need to get away from the destructive criticism and always finding fault, because you look for fault in someone, you're going to find it. Like, it's just
so true.
It's easy to find fault, and especially you live with somebody, there's just you're going to find fault with them. It's going to happen. But what we need to make sure that we're looking for is that we're looking for ways to encourage and compliment each other.
Yeah, I think that we should write this scripture out and just post it all over our house, honey, so that you don't forget to praise me. I think the reason why it's so easy to forget to do this is because we take each other for granted. We absolutely take each other for granted. It's impossible not to, and so we have to fight against it. We have to make a conscious effort Be intentional, make a decision that I am not going to take my spouse for granted.
Yeah.
And I think the number one weapon we have to combat against that is to be thankful, to find things that you appreciate, that you enjoy about your spouse. And that's exactly what this is saying.
Yeah.
To praise her, to compliment each other. And it was kind of funny because when we started our pre-show, we were getting ready, I commented how good your blue eyes look with this blue shirt. And then I looked down at our marriage minute notes, which you put together. I hadn't seen yet. And it says appreciate and compliment each other. And not, we are not always good at that. But it is something that I feel like we're pretty intentional about. And you are so good about, especially like with dinner, being sure to say, hey, thanks for dinner. That was really good, or whatever it might be.
And it's twofold. So especially if you have kids in the house, it does two different things. One, it builds and strengthens your marriage. It lets your spouse know that you appreciate them, that you love them, and it's strengthening and building the bond with your spouse. But you know what else it's doing? It's teaching your kids. Yeah. It's teaching I want my girls to know that this is how a man should be treating a woman. That this is when he compliments her and when he, appreciates, her. And I am modeling for my girls what they're going to look for at some point way, way, way down the road that they're going to look for in a boyfriend and husband one day. And I want to make sure that I'm modeling the kind of man that I want, my girls. So I want to make sure that I'm just not thinking it, and not only that I'm not only doing it in private, that I'm doing it, and I'm doing it in earshot of them, and I do it on purpose. I want them to hear and to see us, loving each other, embracing each other, and having a healthy marriage in front of our kids, because we are their example. And so it strengthens you as a couple and as a partners, but it also it's an example for your kids.
It's great for your kids to walk into the kitchen and see you kissing.
Yes.
See you holding each other. See you having some physical affection. It's good for your kids to see you love each other. And yeah.
So we have our trivia of the day, and I'm going to let you go ahead. But before we do, if you're watching for the first time, you can, if you answer this question correctly, win a $5 gift card to Dunkin' that will text to you. And that number is 315-506-4506.
So get ready now. You're going to text your answer to that phone number. The first correct answer that comes in, we will text back to you a $5 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. So you can get your very own bagel however you like it. I don't think they'll broil it and then put the cream cheese and then warm it back up, because they're not going to go out of their way that much. They're not like Tim Hortons. They're probably not going to put cheese and tomato on it, if you ask.
Yeah.
Will they? Does anybody know?
See, now you have me craving Tim Hortons.
Sorry, honey. You're not going to get Tim Hortons for a long time. So our trivia question today is, how old did Mike turn over the weekend? So Friday was your birthday. We celebrated. We had a great time. Yeah. But how old are you? So I won't give any hints, but
if you're at service this past weekend, then you have a huge advantage. Whether you watched online or you were at church, you have a big advantage. So you can go ahead and Mom, you can't win. If you're watching. I haven't seen her on. Usually she's watching, but actually I don't think she has Tim Hortons in the Dominican anyway. So my parents are missionaries in the Dominican Republic. So sorry, I interrupted
Dunkin'
you.
Donuts.
What?
You said Tim Hortons.
Did I? Yeah. See, I'm craving Tim Hortons. You've got Tim Hortons in my mind. They don't have Dunkin' Donuts in the Dominican Republic, I don't think. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
So we do have a correct answer. The winner this week is Tina, and the correct answer is
45. 40.
So how does it feel?
Great. And that's
40?
Tina DeRosier, right?
Yes. I try not to give people's last names.
Oh, I do not?
Just in case that they are uncomfortable with that. But go ahead, honey. Do you want to give us her address?
Sure, you can reach them at... No, I'm just kidding. It feels good. Yes. I love being in my 40s, and it's going to be a great decade.
Yes, it is.
So I'm excited.
The best is yet to come.
Absolutely. And this weekend, right now, I want you to invite someone, bring someone to church this weekend with you.
Yeah.
We have a phenomenal service, and we're going to do some things to really present the gospel in a real way, visually, and there's going to be music and drama and just creatively bring you the gospel and the story of Jesus and what he went through. And so, man, I'm really looking forward to this weekend.
You have literally been working on this message for weeks.
Yes.
And it has been a team effort. It's very media heavy, and there are a lot of really cool, interesting things that are going to be happening during the service.
Yeah.
And we do that because we know that there are going to be a lot of unchurched people in church on Easter. So we want to bring our A game.
Yes.
We want to do everything we can to present the message of Jesus in a way that is clear and understandable and powerful and anointed. So,
but you need to do your part and bring someone with you to church. That might be a family member. That might be a coworker, friend, neighbor. Right now, this weekend is the easiest time and the most time where people will respond and come to church is Easter and Christmas. So take advantage of this time. And we have 3 services. All the services are identical. Right. So our first Easter service is Thursday night at 7 p.m.
Right.
And
which is awesome, because if you can't come to church on Sunday, maybe you're cooking all day, maybe you're hosting, or you have to travel someplace, we got you covered. Thursday night at 7, the exact same service that you would be a part of on Sunday morning.
Right. And then we have 2 services on Sunday morning, one at 9:30 for those who want to get up early and get to church. And then we have the 11 o'clock for those who might want to sleep in, have breakfast, and then come to church. So however it works for you, we want to see you here at MV Church. And then obviously we have our online campus for those that are, that are here and that are part of our online campus, whether it's in the Mohawk Valley, New York State, and we have people watching really all over the world. And so you're a part of our church, but man, invite someone, bring someone with you to church this weekend, and we're believing that we're going to see a harvest of souls. People are going to be saved and make decisions to follow Jesus this weekend.
Amen.
So that's all we have for you this week for Mornings with Mike and Susie. We hope that you have a great week.